after an allegation of blasphemy sparked a riot last year in the city of Lahore, Pakistan, resulting in more than 3,000 Muslims taking to the streets and burning the homes of Christians, a Christian man has been sentenced to death for insulting Muhammad. Sawan Masih, who was accused of making a blasphemous statement during a private conversation with a Muslim friend, has maintained his innocence, arguing that the allegation stems from a property dispute. The judge has announced the death sentence for Sawan Masih. Masih's attorney, Naeem Shakir, said, "We will appeal the sentence in the Lahore High Court." Pakistan had a moratorium against civilian executions by hanging in place from June 2008 to June 2013, when the ban expired. According to Dawn, an English-language newspaper in Pakistan, the government will not bestow amnesty to death row inmates. The new government has decided to deal with all cases of execution on merit. Interior Ministry spokesman Umar Hamid said in July 2013, days after the moratorium expired. The government has given clear instructions to review all such cases on a case-by-case basis, and there will be no general amnesty for the convicts waiting execution. Amnesty International has estimated that Pakistan has about 8,000 inmates on death row. According to a report from Reuters, at least 16 of them are awaiting execution on blasphemy charges, and 20 others are serving life sentences. Pakistani law does not require accusers to submit evidence of blasphemy in court, and the government has no regulations against false accusations. The severe penalties for Pakistan's blasphemy law make it one of the most repressive laws in the world, the US Commission on International Religious Freedom said in a recent report. Blasphemy charges commonly are used to intimidate members of religious minorities or others with whom the accusers disagree or have business or other conflicts. According to the IRF report, judges in Pakistan have been attacked for acquitting people accused of blasphemy. In the ongoing murder trial of a mother accused of abusing her young son because she thought he was gay, a jury in Washington County, Oregon, read a series of Facebook messages expressing her anger with the children, and her daughter, now 8 years old, has testified against her guardians in the case. Jessica Dutrow, 25, is facing murder by abuse and second-degree assault charges in the death of 4-year-old Zachary. Her boyfriend, Brian Kennedy, has pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter and second-degree assault. The Facebook messages revealed that Dutrow called one of her children stupid, and that Dutrow allegedly used numerous expletives in talking to Kennedy about the children. After an hour I go in there and her sweaty expletive is sleeping on top of her clothes. Dutrow said in one message, "Sleeping is one thing, but to plop her dirty expletive on the clean clothes and sleep." Dutrow also wrote to Kennedy that she gave her daughter lickens. Zachary was taken off life support in August 2012 after being transported from the homeless shelter where he was living with his mother and her boyfriend to a hospital in Portland. Doctors determined the boy had suffered fatal damage to the abdomen, subsequently caused tears in the bowel. During the recent court hearing, Dutrow's daughter testified to the court that her mother beat her and her siblings. The girl told police her guardians, whom she referred to as Jessica and Brian, had beaten Zachary until he was sick, and her mother admonished the child to keep quiet about the abuse. When Kennedy was arrested in 2012, he admitted to kicking Dutrow's son in the abdomen while wearing shoes, according to a report from the Portland Tribune. A Facebook message that was admitted into evidence in the case reveals a motive for the abuse against Zachary, according to the prosecution. In the message, Dutrow used a slur and claimed her son was going to be gay. "He walks and talks like it," Dutrow wrote, noting that Kennedy would need to work on Zachary. The trial was slated to resume April the 1st. In a quick policy reversal, World Vision United States, an evangelical humanitarian aid organisation, approved a measure to hire Christians involved in same-sex marriage, but amid a whirlwind of controversy, rescinded the policy 2 days later. World Vision officials said on March 26th that the organisation had failed to be consistent with Scripture in making the initial decision. The agency changed course after a board of directors meeting. The board acknowledged they had made a mistake and chose to revert to our long-standing conduct policy requiring sexual abstinence for all single employees and faithfulness within the biblical covenant of marriage between a man and a woman, Richard Stearns, World Vision President, and Jim Beret, US Board Chairman, said in a prepared statement. Leaders within the LGBT community applauded the organisation's initial decision, which in turn was sharply denounced by evangelical Christians. World Vision, a member of World Vision International based in Federal Way, WASH, has a budget of a little less than $1 billion and offers emergency relief aid and assists with economic development projects. After the policy reversal, Stearns said the organisation had not gotten feedback from enough of its stakeholders before the initial decision welcoming same-sex couples. He said the organisation should have anticipated the blowback from the policy shift. I think it goes back to we hadn't done enough consultation on this, Stearns said. We hadn't vetted this issue with people who could have given us a really valuable input in the beginning. In retrospect, I can see why this was so controversial and troubling for many of our partners and supporters. In the message to supporters from Stearns and Beret, the two said they regretted the pain and confusion the organisation caused after making the decision to hire Christians in same-sex marriages. We ask that you understand that this was never the board's intent, Stearns and Beret said. We are asking for your continued support. We commit to you that we will continue to listen to the wise counsel of Christian brothers and sisters, and we will preach out to key partners in the weeks ahead. World Vision reported on the Monday before the policy reversal that board members prayed over the decision to allow believers in same-sex marriages into the organisation, noting that the agency is made up of employees from a myriad of denominations with various views on LGBT issues. While World Vision US stands firmly on the biblical view of marriage, we strongly affirm that all people, regardless of their sexual orientation, are created by God and are to be loved and treated with dignity and respect, Stern and Beret said in their statement. Blogger Rachel Held Evans, who had asked readers to donate to World Vision after the organisation made the decision to allow people in same-sex marriages, expressed dismay after the reversal 2 days later. This whole situation has left me feeling frustrated, heartbroken and lost, Evans said. I don't think I've ever been more angry at the church, particularly the evangelical culture in which I was raised and with which I for so long identified. I confess I had not realised the true extent of the disdain evangelicals have for our LGBT people, nor had I expected World Vision to yield to the disdain by reversing its decision under pressure. Evans added, "Honestly, it feels like a betrayal from every side."